Back at it. I'm about to watch some World Cup Opens, bruh. It's about to be epic. This is a strat right here.
Are reversed. Now they have high ground Pookie, which is insane. You can see the patience coming through, the use of mobility at the right times. Jacob nowhere to be seen anymore as Fisco runs away with the game. We now have a big action moment happening.
Nice, nice.
He gets Alec down.
Ooh, nice.
Collapse is coming up. He's still alive, actually.
Again, dude.
Collapse gets brought down by Boop. Big Boop's coming out. Fisco still on high ground. It's a 1v1 now. Boop 8D versus Fisco. Fisco with the health advantage.
Boop just went
gonna
off,
be looking
dude.
to tarp low ground and protect himself as much as possible. Fisco does have that med kit as well to use. He does have advantage.
Oh yeah, Fisco has a med kit.
Now to stay a little bit stealthy in zone. Boop now moving up, seeing if he can capitalize or kind of get
took
over
out
that.
of zone, bro.
Fisco set him up. It was a setup the whole time.
Fisco.
See what's up. The L dance follows up as well. Really nice last second judgment call from Fisco there. He could have got that med kit off, but decided to just straight up jump out and go for that shot. That was sick.
Boop got booped.
Boop got booped. Absolutely.
He did. But look at these builds. Absolutely wild. Whenever you see different points of elevation there on the map, you know these players are all going to be utilizing their materials to their fullest to make sure their rotations are strong. But here we are in the next match. We have Nolan here. We have Vibes on 60 hertz. Somebody get this man a 144 monitor. Come on.
Hey, sometimes these guys could be fronting, you know, you see that name in the feed, you might get a little bit of confidence, you might over peak, and then they come straight out with their actual hertz and bop you up.
Oh, I like it. Puns. Is that a Canadian thing? Are puns a Canadian thing? Do you love puns too?
I love puns too.
You know, I'm infamous.
Hey,
my
really?
Pookie
Okay.
puns, right?
Pookie puns.
You know that?
Let's see if we can make
I feel like we need to try really hard
Close,
right now.
close.
I know production loves puns.
I love the puns. I love
Damn,
the
they
puns.
should do a
These
double
guys
snipe.
also
They should do
love
a
results.
like
Still
a
one spot left for all
heavy
of them. Spraying on
double
metal
combo.
might not be too effective. He does have the stinks here. Pookie, how would you think
Oh, dude, the
Vibes
resing.
should use these stinks going forward into this game? What's the drawbacks of using them before and then after, later and earlier?
I mean, he knows that he has the down over there, but it
Nice,
doesn't
good
matter. He
finish.
ended up taking out Bucky anyway. The thing with stinks is you need to really be sure of when you're using them. You know, I know we've talked a little bit about this in the past, but the smaller the zone gets, the more effective they essentially become, and the more damage they can inflict on your opponents, depending on where they are on the map. So if you're able to hold on to them and get eliminations in other ways, look at
Johnny,
this. Going
big
into
play.
this next zone, we have
Big play.
39
Nice, good
players
knock.
remaining. That's a lot of damage you can inflict
Absolutely.
with those stink bombs. So if you're able to really
Switch that, nice.
just utilize them closer to like the 7th, 8th, even 9th zone, you know, they're just going to be more and more powerful.
Exactly. You talk about other
Trying to
ways as
drop
well.
him down.
Johnny making sure that he has his own box and lair set
Oh
up,
my
and
God.
then him and his duo
Oh
kind of
my God.
unorthodox. I haven't really seen it too much before. Fire 2 layers up and pick
High
up
IQ play.
parts of the duo that they ended up eliminating. A lot of stuff available for them as well to switch over to combat upgrades, drum guns for the end of the game, because as you said, the zone closes
Everybody
up.
has Scar
These
up.
close range guns, that's what pops off over and
But
over again. You have
doesn't
the
really
option
care.
of smokes as well. There's a
Doesn't
rift
need-
being able to be
doesn't
taken
need
by
it.
Johnny as well. We'll see if he can capitalize
did, though.
on that in this box, or just making sure everything is taken up, everything's being tallied, turrets being dropped and traded. There is a rift going on now as the zone just starts moving. There are 22 duels left alive, so placement is not up yet. You know, West is still pretty fast.
They're trying not to
stacked.
let
We'll see
anybody
what these guys
use
get up
their
to as
thing.
the rift pops up.
Yeah, and you can see what he did there. He actually popped the rift and then picked up the shadow bombs there. So making sure that he isn't leaving a spot open in his inventory, fully utilizing all of the mobility he has. But look at all of these players here up in the sky.
Oh my God.
Over 10 of them are up there, just, you know, soaring through the sunset.
Yeah, another rift pops as well. Really good view on the sunset. Some people more sunnier than others. We'll see
If somebody lands down right now, they could just freaking get so many kills out of the air.
It's very, very hard to get your own definitive layers. That's what everyone's going to be trying to do. These rings might also get in the way, these slipstream rings that are kind of disabled at the moment because, you know, a little bit of randomness happens here and there. It gets a little bit jumbled up. But now, Johnny taking control of that high ground, pressuring an individual in zone. Legend now gets knocked down, his ranking going all the way down to novice or rookie. No more legend status for you there, my friend. Johnny now moving out, 3 elims. Dade is still alive as well. They have this insurance with the smoke, so they can wait all the way up on height. be very, very generous with how much time they spend here, and then pop
Storm,
off
he
when
has
the
Storm.
moment seems
Storm's
just
going
right.
back to him.
And there's still 29 players alive, so this is probably one of the most populated lobbies we've seen all day. Johnny utilizing his traps, placing them down there, saying, you know what, this is my high ground. You are not going to take it, because if you do, you're going to get my high ground, but you're also going to get 150 damage inflicted.
Yeah, exactly. 17 duels now left.
Nice.
The 16
Nolan
are now
dead.
left. One of them goes down. This next elimination batch of elims coming out is going to make it so that the 15 points of placement goes across the rest of the lobby as well. Still a lot of insurance available. They have a launch pad as well to use as they start cleaning up the server, going up all the way to 8 elims, 13 duels left alive now. Outer gets outed. He's gone. No more indoor soccer for you, my friend. You just got kicked out of the lobby.
I think I met my match for Podmaster, quite honestly. I'm quite enjoying this. Whoever put us together on the cast, kudos to you guys. This is great. Here we have Johnny again, just utilizing his assault rifle there to just try and put as much pressure. He has the ammo for it, so why not? Why not try to get knocked just like that? Takes out Bot. Turt, he goes down completely. We see him not being able to make it out of the zone, unfortunately. We have Typical Gamer on mid-ground. Look at these Bolt boys. They're still up top.
Dude, they're just raining down.
Shots down, Shy.
Yeah, we talk about knowing when to give up height. These guys do not care at the moment. They have the advantage. They have the tools just in case it gets knocked down.
Yeah, they have high ground.
It does not matter
They can
to
just
them. They're going to try to exploit
rain
as
down
much
on
as they
everyone.
can.
Dude.
That split second, it's really a split second decision, so it's hard to say, you know, when the right time is, but I would say A, knowing where everybody is on the map, and B, recognizing if there are people in fights. And here we see Zen just get taken out by Typical Gamer, not playing very typical to me at all, showing us that, you know what, he belongs here, he belongs in these qualifiers. But we have Johnny and Dade up top, still just taking out Syllable. He falls down.
Johnny and Dade have
mid-ground, and it looks to be now
38
a 2v1v1, Shy.
Absolutely. If you look at these guys finally getting to drop down near the end of the night.
Ooh, no
circle.
mats, no
Johnny
mats.
looking for
Johnny,
any
no
shots
mats.
while Dade plays up for insurance. Typical Gamer in a very sandwichy spot, but there is no
Johnny's just gonna
yummy,
frag.
scrumptious, delicious dessert for him today as he gets knocked.
Nice.
Sizer also going down at the very end. Johnny
9
dropping
kills.
down, doing all the work, while his duo Dade gets up there and gives him the info to play it out.
I love that. I love when you see duos split like that. They recognized that it was going to be a 2v1. So what they did was, like you said, drop down. One plays a close quarter combat, applies pressure that way. The other one stays up top, raining down shots from above. You have 2 angles of pressure. And being that solo player, you know your chances are not high that you're getting out of that alive.
Jarvis, dude. Jarvis and Till. Dude, they have like no shields. They have no health, bro. Oh my god.
No shields, less HP. Than 100. Anything can kind of take him out. Just a head dink by an AK or anything that kind of touches them or breezes them.
Dude, they're still pushing like freaking maniacs. Oh my god.
When you're in these positions, your back's against the wall. That's where you start making these big desperate plays that players don't expect. A lot of loot available for them now. Tilt getting back up his shields all the way up to 24. He has a little bit of leeway now as well to play in with the zone. They have minis as well that Tilt takes. Jarvis kind of being left there stranded, but you know, he's a good player. I know he can get it out. He can easily go out there, get some more elims, get his health topped off as well.
Yeah, it looks like Jarvis said, you know what, you take the minis. I'm just going to take this big shield here.
Alright, now they have shields.
Jarvis did pick up the RPG, but put it back down. So it's going to be interesting to see if they choose to pick that up. They may not have the ammunition for it, but in that position, Shy, do you pick up the RPG and just have it in your inventory, say over, for example, 2 bandages? Or do you just leave it and say, you know what, we're not going to see if we can pick up any more ammo. It's going to be a wasted slot. What do you do?
I mean, if you want to have a guarantee, if you want to just stick to your game plan and not get distracted, you know, tunnel visioning is a big thing that duos start to get into. Some people might play too much around the RPG. That's where practice comes in, right? Maybe these guys saw, and here we go, actually. This is another strat I was about to bring up. Sometimes you can carry the RPG, use all the rockets, and then take your bandages and be on with your day. But for the moment, it looks like they did find a few more rockets. Are going to play off that RPG, giving away the bandages, making this their prime focus of utility. It's a very smart decision when players decide to keep one
Dude, Jarvis
source
is actually
of big
insane.
bang momentum utility and then play around that, make that their win condition. And that's what Jarvis and Tilt are going to do, who are actually now looking a lot healthier in metal instead of brick now, in a very good spot to move out in the zone.
They're in an excellent position right now, but I really just have to point out here, we have 43 players alive, so the effectiveness of that RPG is going to be absolutely huge. When you have this many players in this small of a zone, it is chaotic, it is loud, shots are raining from everywhere, so utilizing this RPG and maybe, like you said, just dropping it later for other things might not be too bad of an idea when there are this many players vying for real estate on this map right now.
Yeah, they don't call it the Wild Wild West for no reason. There's a lot of people are going to be switching layers.
Nice, dude.
Coming up from Jarvis. Holy moly, as he gets a nice head dink off. He gets Pepe off on rotation.
Dude, they're
as well,
freaking
right
popping
before
up.
the launch pad. Him and Jarvis now going to be moving up Tilt. We'll see if he can pick up anything. Both players putting in the same amount of work as they find their own layer to pop off on.
Yeah, and you can see there Tilt actually utilizing the slipstream as cover. Did you see he was kind of floating down beside it because he recognized that there were players in front of him, and you can do that. They will block shots. It's a form of natural cover, so very, very high IQ play coming out of FaZe Tilt. I wouldn't expect anything less.
Exactly. It's all about being dynamic, seeing that 1 second decision and taking less than a second to confirm that decision. It saves you mats, saves you health, saves you a lot of things. Now you can utilize that position, that advantage on HP, just as Tilt's doing here. Some shots coming in, but that reload, unfortunately, being something that stops him from the eliminations. Their top is going to get dropped down as they drop down as well. Tilt, Jarvis getting stuck in his own pyramid. Shadow Bomb's coming out. Luckily, someone did edit a door as they both jump out, hopefully sticking together. One of the big things duos have is getting lost on these rotation solo items where there's one person in the ball, one person in the shadow. But by week 10, this is where people are kind of used to everything. They've practiced with it a lot, and they just pop off. Tilt now looking for any angles with that heavy sniper to follow up with. Not sure where Jarvis is for the moment. 26 duels left alive as we get, or 26 players left alive, excuse me, as we get towards the placement points. Dard getting picked up from the backside of the zone. Tilt's going to be moving through.
Oh, Jarvis went down.
Damage off of that as well. Will it be worth it? He's going to lose a lot of shield too, blocking someone off. Jarvis very low, gets eliminated. 15 duels now left alive, so Tilt did pick up those placement points along with a few Elim points as Rex gets picked up as well. And it's coming down, not his floor though, on the edge of Storm. Destroyer carnage on the backside of zone as he destroys his opposition. Bumboy going down towards Stinks. Destroyer actually almost makes it out but falls to the Storm. Landon and Cortex on height now. Crayon going to be moving around a lot of different layers available, but it's actually kind of unique, Pookie. The height is not too high at the moment. What does that kind of spell for the rest of the game for those mid and low ground tarps?
I mean, it's much easier for them to know and recognize who is on high ground at that point, but they have to be very careful because it does not take much for Cortex or Landon to just make the play and make the decision to drop down. We talked about this a little bit earlier on. You know, these players on NA West, they are vying for one spot, so you're going to see these plays just like this where Cortex makes that split decision to just take out the box. That player does fall down. That was Flare. He is out of this game. We have a few people still in mid ground. But
I think Jarvis is going to make it. I believe in that dude.
Aldum is by himself. He is by himself. Lucas got taken out earlier, so Synergy Aldum just by himself here. It is going to be a 2v1.
Did Jarvis already qualify?
Times before, call this one.
Cortex landed on the top side of the storm.
Jarvis already qualified, right?
So we'll be closing out in about 50 seconds here. Can Aldum pull this together? He does have the mats, but can the mats survive the spray? Landon now going for a few angles, but Aldum sensing that drops down another layer. This is his last layer though. Dodging that combat shotgun shot. Landon taking a little bit of zone damage.
Did he get a ticket to New York?
From Aldum in return as well. Cortex now has to be the brains of this group as he has the most shield. Will he drop down first? Will Landon play insurance? No, they're going to send Landon down. Nope, they're going down together actually, playing off of edits. Aldum finally taking 50 shots to his shields. His shields drop down. The 2v1 just perfectly played there. Did lose a little bit of HP on the initial push, but at the end of the day, these guys clean it up. Very nice janitorial services, and they get through with that game. Very dope.
Very well played by those two.
I think so.
We've seen it time and time again. You know, I love duos just
most
because
likely
they're so dynamic, but every time we see the 2v1, my heart just sinks. I feel for that solo player. I've been in that position so many times myself. Your heart is pounding, the blood is pumping, but no time for that. We are taking a look at Ghost, Aiden, and Ghost, Sean, Aiden participating in the Pro-Am this past weekend. I had the opportunity to talk with him, and you know, just a great guy all around. I love to see him in these qualifiers doing well, and he is going to actually be pushing forward and pressuring this box here. There are two players inside. If he makes the edit, he gets the shot off of Refine. Refine goes down, and Ghost Aiden coming in with the cleanup there and says, you know what?
You know what I'm saying?
Where's your partner?
Exactly.
I'm gonna look for him. Aiden smells blood right now, and he gets.
Dude, this guy, he's insane.
Is gone.
Look how many mats he has.
Work of the edits, just the flicks. Absolutely incredible player. Deserves everything. Aiden, I love you.
400 on the dash.
He's using this cool trick that you can, I think, only do on controller for the moment. So one advantage to them where they can actually shoot and wall replace at the same time because their button functionality is a little bit different from the PC players. So him using that twice to actually take the advantage of those opponents' walls, you know, ping might be a factor, might not be, but very, very smart knowledge there, knowing when to use those tricks, when they can be a bit too overbearing. He cleans it up though very, very nicely, gets some easy shots as Arcrum now is going to be up top in the leaderboards actually with Falconer as well. We'll see if they can pop off at this moment. 42 points
I'm
for
already
them.
in for
They
it,
have the Chug Splash, 6 minis, 2 Shadow Bombs as well, so they're sitting very, very nice on rotational
head.
items,
Give me the head.
Arcrum is rocking that tac shotgun, obviously not a combat. Might hurt him on those long-range engagements when he needs to follow up if he can't use his heavy AR. We'll see
400 on the dash.
on this low ground.
Yeah, and we've seen a lot of players opting for the combat shotgun over the tactical shotgun, just because, like you said, for range it is a little bit more
dash.
Falling to Arcrum there, just a few quick shots with his heavy AR, just taking him out there completely. Falconer kind of just hanging out back. He knows that Prequel is there. He understood that 100%, getting the edit out, and smart. Prequel's partner is staying back there as well. So let's see if Falconer and Arcrum go for the engagement here. They've already got a little bit of damage inflicted on them, but it looks as though they are opting at this point to maybe just disengage.
400.
Absolutely. They're also really, really good on mats on this low ground target as well, so they could tunnel in if they wanted to. They do have rotation as well. Aiden and Sean are going to be controlling that mid to high ground section. Sean now busting out 30 HP taken from Storm. Will it be worth it? Will his position rule at the end of the day? We'll see him trying to fight for height. Pyramid's up, gonna stick with the mid ground there. A person in his box is
Sean's down. Sean's gone. Damn.
Valifen gonna be finishing up that elimination. Aiden now looking out, gonna be playing this game solo. As you said, it's so hard, but they've done work in the lobby already, Pookie. 8 eliminations available or taken from them from the server. Punisher also in this game as well, so a lot of high ranked on the leaderboards individuals. We'll see how it all pans out. Aiden now on his last smoke on the 6th storm. Now he's gonna have to use his brains.
Whoa, did he just say on his last smoke? No dueling in my Fortnite server, dude. Oh, knock. Oh my god.
Down Aiden picking up the duo port and Prequel, both falling to his Tommy gun spray, his patented Tommy gun spray.
Dude, Aiden's insane, man.
See if he can get one more peek out. No, now on rotation. Pressure versus positioning here is the question of the game. That shot blocking a sight line as well as that metal goes straight to opaque from see-through. Landjock, Punisher actually going down from that duo. Landjock taking a bunch of storm damage but phases up.
Aiden got shield.
Tarp, he's going to be easily surviving this moment, but will be able to live a little bit longer with that less of HP.
Yeah, and it looks like Aiden is going to take this moment to maybe just try and get a big shield off. He isn't going to be able to. The storm is right at his back. He did take 10 damage.
Make it take less. Take like
needs to get a
6 minutes.
Here. He needs to get some kind of knock, and he does. He gets it on Smooth. Shy Smooth falls down. Aiden breaks out of the box with 75 HP. He is rushing forward. He has the mats. He can keep doing this. He needs to keep going. He needs to try and get himself healed up, and this is exactly the play that I wanted to see playing out of Aiden right now. Using the campfire to get that a little bit more effective health. He wasn't unfortunately able to get any shields off. He is going to really have to try and get some time to get those 3 big shields.
He has to get like into the middle. There he goes.
Yeah, he's got it right to his name if he wants any shot at lasting in this game right now.
Absolutely. Shields are a big privilege in these endgame circles. Health is what most people love to have. We'll see if he can get those big shields off, playing with a classic loadout as Falconer misses a quick snipe but catches himself with that redeploy. He also has a heavy sniper available, which is not reloaded at the moment, but doesn't need to be, as the combat is the main player of his loadout at the moment. Another redeploy catch coming in, gonna make him a very sneaky and infamous coming in from the backside of the zone. Finally catches up to Arcrum, gonna be looking for shots again. They own all the walls. The walls see and hear everything these duels are doing, and they're calling back saying, "Give me Elims. It's my turn now."
It's
Boom.
My turn for Elims. Falconer there using his shield.
Ah,
to
damn,
get
Aiden's
healed
gone.
up. We see
That's
Aiden
tough.
unfortunately going down. His reign in this game is over. We have a cow at the very top, ultimate high ground, and here we have Arcrum and Falconer down ultimate low ground, utilizing their builds to try and get those edits
Dude,
out,
they're freaking low
recognizing
ground,
where
but they're
there's
still
a
like
point right on the other
fragging
side of
out,
that
dude.
wall. They're gonna make the edit. They do. They make the edit. This is why it's so powerful to build out like that when you're on ultimate low ground. You need to be tarping like that because you have all the control, Shy.
I believe
Ooh,
Epic Will
Falconer
is
didn't
also
make
fourth,
it.
and he goes down when we last checked up on the leaderboards. Unfortunately, Falconer and Arcrum, though, are both going to be alive in this end game as it is, and it
Arcrum
looks
has
like
full height,
a
though.
1v1 v2 at the moment. LV going up. Arcrum, Falconer gonna retain that high ground. We'll see if they can close this game out. Falconer dropping down as Arcrum stays up top. LV in a box, but gets bopped as he falls all the way down. Doesn't look like he had any mats left for that one, or maybe he fell down to the pressure. Very, very clean win
Big
from Falconer
win.
there.
Very, very clean indeed. Falconer and
61 now.
Arcrum pulling out 11 eliminations, securing themselves that victory royale. Congratulations to
Like, how
those
do
two. We are just
players
getting
do
started
this much
with these
building,
NA
bro?
West games. They are on fire in this region right now. Bala.
And they're so smooth.
We're about halfway
Like-
through NA West, and that is just a presentation of why Falconer and Arcrum are at the top of the leaderboards and why they've already qualified. Zeke, we've got some stuff to look at, some highlights, some breakdowns from those
Let's see if
last
Jarvis
4
qualified.
games.
For sure, my man. Let's take a look at Bolt, Johnny, and Dotted. This dynamic duo, I mean, they just represent what you should be doing here, right? Like, this is going to be the skill gap you're looking to achieve all the time. You know, we've heard from several players as far as like 12-hour days of nothing but Fortnite. And this is what this translates to, right? Bolt, Johnny, and Dottie together, they're just maintaining high ground, tearing through players in these late game circles. Now we're going to be watching them through until a victory royale here. And just watch, you know, you can see a lot of team coordination, knowing when to tarp, when to have your dual partner apply pressure. And you see Dottie there on Johnny's left, and he just continuing team fire, right? And in this moment, Johnny's like, all right, I need to tarp out, keep our momentum going. We cannot be stopping for anything. We have to be ready to move. And again, just knowing how to navigate fights, knowing how to isolate enemies and lock them down. It's very important, especially in these moments, right? Like, you make a simple mistake and it's going to cost you. Here, they just get the drop and shut the player down. Massive victory out for them. Now, Cortex and Landon here, similar kind of situation in the late game. We saw not that long ago, just the way they kind of terrorize this entire lobby. And this is almost a textbook win, right? They're in a 2v1 right now. Cortex taking the lead. Landon trying to split attention there for just a moment, just to distract the enemy players. But of course, now we get to take a look at the standings.
Yeah, so
And,
Arcrum and Falconer with that
Jarvis
win that we
isn't up
just
there.
saw, pushing themselves up to 61 points. But of course, this duo is already qualified. So right now, it's Epic Whale and 40R Storm who are getting that one spot that they need. And of course, this duo is kind of a last-minute change, right? We usually see Epic Whale with Sealmat, but 40R Storm and Epic Whale have qualified in solo. So who knows? Maybe this is the formula that you need to get to New York and NA West.
Yeah, I mean, they're making it work for them, right? Sitting here in second place with the 49 points. Now, don't forget, there is only the single spot. So if they stay just below Falconer and Arcum, that means they could potentially qualify. But don't forget, we've only got a handful of games played, right? You said it best. We're halfway through, but there's still anyone could jump up, right? Look at from 49 down to 42. That's a 7-point differential. That's just one good game. Hitting top 5 will net you the difference there, right?
And again, this spot really is not counted. Obviously, they're doing the best. They're going to get that #1 spot in the prize money, but this is all what we're talking about. I mean, 49 to 42. You just said it, 7 points. That's nothing. That really isn't anything at all. But some of these other guys as well. We just talked about Dade and Johnny. We broke down that win. They're at 43 right now. They've got 3 games played, so
Arcrum
they're
and
starting to
Falconer
heat up a little bit.
split
That's
themselves
typically
in
what
the
we
group
see from
game.
them. Zeke, they always start at the top of the leaderboard early, but then end up falling down slightly a little bit. We also want to take a moment to check out, you know, what's going on the socials, Zeke.
Yes, so in case that you maybe didn't hear, we actually have a new Twitter handle that is FN Competitive. Check it out. That is going to be your go-to for all things Fortnite competitive going on in the future. Check it out. Send it a follow. We'll constantly be posting updates of things coming up. We've got trios, clips, trios tournament, Fortnite World Cup Finals. This is all going to be like the new one-stop place, one-stop shop.
Yeah, it's
one-stop
awesome.
shop.
I don't know.
I think that's right.
One-stop shop. You got it.
Yeah,
we'll got it. Hey, there's
anyway,
clips, everything there. I've been checking it
Check
out all day. It's awesome. You got to throw it a follow. But with that, we need to get back into the games. We're going to throw it over back to Shy Wager and Pookie.
Thank you, Bala.
Don't mind us. We're just over here playing around with filters on our phone. It's actually hilarious. I didn't hear anything Zeke just said there. Doesn't really matter, probably. But hopping right back into these NA West games, we're looking up for Corey right now and his duo partner, Brogstar. We saw them play a little bit earlier. These guys look like they have a ton of synergy, but, you know, I suppose you're going to get that when you are playing together for on the games this weekend. He was on the Little Whip team, so kudos to him for, you know, showing up and saying, you know what, I can play more than just creative games. I've got this competitive edge in me as well.
Absolutely. Back when TwitchCon was a thing, I actually think I had a conversation with Corey. We were about to duel for a second, but the regional difference with him being West and me being East kind of blocked that entire engagement out. He has been grinding for a long time, though. A little bit of name changes going out here and there as well, but, you know, always saying OG to that Broccoli start from the get-go. He's going to be kind of having some trouble on mid-ground here, so we'll see if he can actually own up and get height. He is going to be solo duo now. Jaeyoung going up for a quick Elam, getting blocked, but his duo comes in from the sky, Batman style, and breaks in through the skylight, picking up that next elimination as well, saving the time from that engagement. That's a big thing, especially when you're fighting on these big mid and high ground layers. The more time you take, the more your fight expands, the more you get into risky positions, the more you can get into trouble. So Jaeyoung and his duo just playing that timing perfectly, and now have a nice perch to set up on, Pookie. We'll see if they can find any angles when they're looking out up top.
Yeah, and just to your point, Shai, actually, now that you mention it, you know, ever since the introduction of the combat shotgun and the pump being vaulted, you know, I feel like engagements are lasting a little bit longer. You're not getting the one-shot pump shotgun to the face anymore and ending engagements really just like that. So, you know, an excellent point to bring up there, and just really recognizing that, you know, engagement time does matter, especially when you get into these late zones and having to rotate into the next. Trying to get your opponents taken out as quickly and as efficiently as possible is key.
Yeah, I can feel that combat nerf there, as well as those shots hit for about a total collective of 15 damage, usually hitting for a lot more. Maximo might be frustrated at that, but he does have a lot of mats and 3 elims going on to this stick circle rotation. We'll see if he can grab height as he 90s up, blocking off the competition. Very smart placements of floors as he moves up as well from tier to tier of height. He's going to start focusing down on the backside of Storm. That's instinct to a lot of good players at this moment now. 10 weeks of practice. You know exactly where to look when you're done rotating. Maximo now going up for that big call to take out this whole mid-ground layer. Can they find shots on this newly builded brick now? We'll see if he can get into a better vantage point. Psych looks like he might have died to the Storm, or got eliminated to the Storm when these guys were moving in. He got a little bit of a damage tag on him there. Maximo doing a really good job of keeping a track and eye on everyone in the Storm circle or in the zone at the moment.
Yeah, and Jaeyoung actually doing a really great job of tarping beside Maximo, making sure that where they're walking right now, because they are an ultimate high, is completely reinforced and they don't need to worry about being shot down. Maximo having a little bit of trouble here getting out of this Storm. Does take 2 ticks of Storm damage, but does recover nicely. Hits for 15. There isn't going to get a knock or an elimination, but it doesn't matter because Jaeyoung and Maximo are on maximum height. But look at Howl going up there in the baller, just maybe making a play for high ground, but maybe trying to pose as a little bit of a distraction against these two. Unfortunately, Howl does have to be careful because those ballers don't have as much health as they used to. Jaeyoung raining down shots at this point. They aren't really going to be getting anything right now. They need to do something at this point. There are still 16 16 players alive. They only have 5 eliminations between the two of them, which is great, but there is only 1 spot, Shy, so every point matters. These guys need to be fragging right now.
Absolutely, and pop-off games are always a thing as well, so you got to be playing the best you can on each game, and the best is good for Maximo as he gets a nice 3-tap off in the air, getting that elimination. A quick wall replace edit with pressure, a rift available, but he decides not to actually take the rift as well, holding height for his duo to come back down and then possibly looking back up for the beam. Just high IQ plays here as white damage is on his enemies. Devi goes down, 60 hertz not being enough to let him see the right play. Jaeyoung moving around, 7 elims for this duo together. Still more people rifted up in the air. A gift from Devi there.
Dude, my ping is always so high.
That heights here, once again taking out all those high ground mid tarps. Gibby and Temple now on that high mid tarp as well, moving in. Pookie, they've got so much healing and a rift on deck as well. How would you segment out using this stuff near the end of the game?
Well, at this point, what I would be doing, they're doing it perfectly. They should be popping minis and then using the Chug Splash there to get themselves each up as high as they possibly can. Each one of those are healing for 20 HP, and it does have that area of effect. So using that as soon as you can is going to be great. But I like to see that they are able to actually take out a player as well. So Jaeyoung does take a little bit of damage, but he is going to get the 50 siphon off of that. It will bring him back up to 200 HP. Maximo and Jaeyoung looking very strong right now, taking out another player, absolutely just bodying these players in this lobby.
You talk about Maximo, he's playing at the maximum potential at the moment from this high ground. Nevelak at the bottom with Pash. Looks like it's going to be a classic 2v2, but Jaeyoung has that momentum at the moment. Pash going to be looking for some shots, not being able to do much at the moment. Nevelak getting knocked down. Pash in a 1v1 now. Jaeyoung going for the finish. Both players actually going for the finishes for their respective HP. He's taking a lot of shield damage. Doesn't look like he has any more mats to use. Pash up top. Jaeyoung using that backup rift. Is it the right decision? We'll find out in just a moment. Any tree to land on, anything. Jaeyoung taking a lot of shots. Does he have a landing spot? 1 second left. The Chug Splashes coming in. Is it enough? Pash hit the storm. Oh my lord. Jaeyoung, the last second clutch. The Chug Splashes, the 3rd time we've seen it today, and probably the most clutch we've seen it as well as he gets the top spot. Most IQ I've seen in a high ground hold ever from any region so far today. Holy moly guacamole.
Holy moly guacamole indeed. That was absolutely wild. Recognizing that he still had those 2 utility slots that he hadn't used, the Rift to go and the Chug Splash, playing that perfectly. Somebody needs to clip that on stream. Please shout it out to me or Shy at PookieFace, hashtag Fortnite World Cup. I want that one to go on my little wall of clips that I have on my desktop at home, because that was amazing. Yeah, not only using that rift to relocate, but then popping off those Chug Splashes as well. Isolated. Talking about isolated now, Vibes finding someone on the low ground as well. Once again, utilizing these vertical positionings that happen. A trap coming down looks like it takes out the ball that Kickback had, or the ball that was in their turtle at the moment. More focus coming down to the same place they got an elimination earlier. This is smart, as they know someone is going to be going for that loot. They can use it kind of as a set trap or bait for people to come in and see. Slipstream's still up and alive right now. You think anyone can catch them as they're moving around? Rexi's actually taking a little bit of damage going through. Yeah, and there's so much building here. You know, if you do want to utilize the Slipstream, you could possibly do it and land on top of any one of these players' builds, but really nobody in there right now. We're taking a look at Iota, and we have Vectical here as well, looking very, very good. And like, they do have that new proximity grenade launcher there. How are you feeling about that item so far in the game?
So the proximity launcher is very interesting, just because it does pack such a wallop, but at the same time takes an essential slot that everyone already has, you know, determined for their playstyle and their, you know, building, their rotations. So at the moment, although it is a very strong item, it's very situational, and you do have to give up, you know, say smokes, a heavy sniper, stuff that's been true and tested. It still is a very new item, in my opinion. Duos have been using it to turn tides, but at the same time, you know, which duos are we not seeing, because they do get eliminated at some point in the game. Just like right now, we see Iota going up with Vectical at the moment. 2 Shadows and a Proxim launcher still available at the moment. Will they get the wall replaced? A Stake Note Chug Splash is coming down as his duo holds. This is a very dynamic fight. An edit coming through. Angel coming up with the pop, but does finally go down as he gets picked up. Aspire goes down as well. Now Iota Molotov has to move out by himself. Unfortunately, his duo does go down in that engagement, but they do pick up those 2 Elam points. So will that be worth it going forward? Would it be better for both of them to stay alive for placement, or would it be better for those Elam points to come through and then the possibility of a solo person playing for placement? Pookie, what do you think?
I mean, Iota certainly has his work cut out from him. There's still so many players left in this lobby. I think at this point he is in mid-ground, so if he can lay low for a little while, hope that these other players kind of take each other out, eliminate each other, he can kind of sneak in under the radar. If he does opt to go for placement points, that would probably be his best play. But here we are looking at Dade again. Johnny is still alive as well. 46 points so far on the leaderboard for these boys. They also have 3 eliminations between the 2 of them. I am waiting for these guys to pop off, Shai.
They're almost at their natural element. High ground is where these guys perform. We saw it last game. They're so good at just looking down, just like this. Morten getting popped. Dade just looking left and right. 23.76 ping won't be enough for that individual to stay alive.
Okay, I told you I'll join back.
For height decides to slow down him and his duo. Actually,
I told you I'll join back.
They're up there. No, that is a fight happening. A lot of rifters now coming down left and right.
Overwatch.
Golden up top. We'll see if he can stay shiny while he looks at everyone else down in the server.
West.
A lot of people still rifting. Looks like the Bolt boys are up top as well. Not sure where Johnny is. He's right below Dade, actually. A lot of hard mats now being used.
Hey, Siri.
It's going to be very hard for people to just pickaxe in the boxes. It's going to take a little bit more time.
FaceTime West.
Now they're going to be choosing to stay on mid-ground, not fighting for height just yet. They do have a lot of mats, so maybe they're waiting for the rest of the lobby to use all their mats in these fights, then take it. 90's coming in now. We'll see if Dade can go up top. Johnny already up there. He's going to be adjusting his path left and right. Not only does this give him the movement option, but the angles for the shots as well.
Okay, he's doing something, of course, because he's not.
Enemy build, finally catching up on the backside. A big 130 shot going down on Golden, all the way getting dropped to bronze now.
Wait, don't yet. Wait.
Shots getting up, down, or from up, getting shot from up top to down.
You know what? Today I got a 28 kill bomb with me.
What do you make of this huge build?
Well, look at what happened. So Johnny was completely separated from Dade in that position. He was at 50 HP. Dade absolutely just cranking the 90s, working his way up the side of that mountain to get to Johnny.
I'll be back.
Taking out players on his way and then utilizing those chunk slashes to heal his partner up. That is the duo partner you want.
Absolutely. You want someone that can support you, but also attack. You know, protect, attack.
Attack gives health back.
Absolutely. That was sick. I'm not gonna lie. That was really good. 200 mats left now. As more Elams come up top, it's just relaxed for these guys. Another day in the park, another walk on the beach. It's just easy comings for them. Shots getting shot up from the bottom side now, but since they are on break, it's going to be nice and supported. Oh, Geo, oh no, taking a lot of storm damage coming in from a launch pad. Sometimes you do have to dip in the storm to make sure you don't take any shots. He finally goes down. Now it looks like it's a 2v1 as Prolo and Pear are looking up and down, very dynamic, looking for all the Elams. Fruity finally goes down as Prolo challenges height, kind of buying Pear time to see if he can see anything from the down low, kind of baiting.
Bruh! I wanna play Fortnite with both of you, Noobus. Please, bruv. Cause I'm trying to like qualify. Yes. Oh, you guys freaking suck, man. Then can we just play, please? Yep.
Overwatch.
Then if you don't play with me, then you're full home again. Bruh.
No.
You just said, I don't know what that is. What's that?